Eagles versus the Commanders. The 7-3 Commanders versus the 7-2 Eagles. Thursday Night Football matchup. Previewing this matchup because our NFL pick'em will be on Friday along with some basketball talk we'll be doing. So this is going to be our last episode that you're going to get to watch us and us make this Thursday Night Football pick. So that's why we're doing it early. How do you feel about this game, Riv? I mean, this is a major test for an Eagles defense that has been great. First big test against an offense that is this good. You also beat the Bengals. That was a good win. How do you feel?
I want you to elaborate on the beating. We whipped their ass. Man, we fucked them. Like, literally looped up, destroyed.
No loop.
Listen, we jammed it right in there.
God.
Listen, when do I not feel good when my Eagles play? Outside of maybe playing Tampa Bay, it's probably like the one team that
They own y'all.
Yeah, they own the shit out of us. I feel great though coming into this matchup. We've played the best football we've played since the Super Bowl year in a while. You know, these last 4 or 5 week stretches, we've been a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. So that's something you want to tip your hat to. And I get it. Competition hasn't been anything to sing about, but sometimes our defense even shits the bed against bad offenses. So I'm glad just to see us put on some pretty complete, pretty well-rounded performances. I'm glad to see our young secondary play really well. Our pass rush to get into the mud of things. Jalen Carter's been great. Brandon Graham looks like he's turning the clock back. Kobe Dean, Nolan Smith, and all them boys.
Shout out to the backers. They're cooking.
Josh Sweat. Shout out to Georgia Bulldogs on our team in general.
Amen.
They've been doing their thing. Secondary's been dope. Offensively, when A.J. Brown plays, we're undefeated. We have not lost a single game this year when A.J. Brown plays. I think that's the key. He just opens up our offense so much more. It makes defenses really struggle, makes them really have to hone in on that zone defense. Because if you go man-to-man, A.J. Brown's pretty much beating anybody. And then, Smitty has his moments where if you go man-to-man, he can also beat your top guy. So I think, and then Saquon Barkley is just getting into the mud of things. Just we've turned into, ever since the bye, we've turned into a run-heavy offense first. And that's always been our thing. Like, we have one of the best offensive lines in football. We bring in a talent like Saquon Barkley. Why not just make it a run-first offense, then feed off the run? And that's what we've been doing, and we've been great at it. And Hurts has been great at, keeping the turnovers down. It's not just the turnovers. It's the stupid bonehead plays.
About it?
No, like those weeks 1 through 5, I swear to God, 80% of it was not even a defense. It's just Hurts doing some dumb shit. Like, why are you throwing that? Why not just throw it out of bounds?
He did it in the first half against the Cowboys.
I was literally about to say,
Yeah.
I think Trayvon Diggs just made a nice play.
He kind of had inside leverage on that too.
Fake.
I don't know if he should have thrown it.
I don't think he should have either.
I think a slightly better ball placement might have been a touchdown.
For sure.
But at the same time, Trayvon made a nice play on the ball.
Trayvon made a play, and those are the plays
And
that's
then he had
like,
a fumble.
Yeah, the Cowboys game was a little bit
been waiting for
sloppy.
this, huh?
He has been waiting.
I watched the game.
He has been waiting because before that, Hurts has been flawless. He has
No,
nothing to
Hurts
say.
has been
Well, you
fucking
mentioned
sacks.
him making dumb mistakes, and I just mentioned
I don't think
he
Trayvon
had
Diggs one
two of
was
them.
dumb.
What-
Like
and
dumb
I-
is
and
different.
I always
It was pretty covered.
He trusted his arm. He trusted his arm. It happens. It definitely does happen against this Washington Commanders team and this fake defense.
Oh my!
I would love to say I'm excited to see their offense. I'm excited to see what Scary Terry does against our secondary, who has pretty much been in the dog pound locking dudes up since week 5. I'm excited about that. It's just a bye, I want to say. I'm excited to see how we make Jaden Daniels looks. We saw that Pittsburgh Steelers game. Washington struggled sometimes, specifically in the second half. That Pittsburgh Steelers defense was able to get pressure. I'm hoping my boys can do the same thing. On the defensive side, I don't think Washington can hold us. And this is where I'm really going to get it. Like, I do not think there's a single ounce of level that Washington defense can hold us. I don't trust their corners. I know they got Marshawn Lattimore. That's really cute.
He didn't practice yet.
Yeah,
too.
I don't even know if he is.
might
Even
not-
if
he
he
didn't
was.
practice,
Even
he's
if he
practiced.
was or he wasn't, he's too small for A.J. Brown.
Oh my.
Respect to him. A.J. Brown just does something to them little corners. Yeah.
What's he do?
I'm just showing him the picture.
No, he was actually.
It was
yeah,
covered.
I get it. You've been waiting on this for sure.
What,
I'm
the
just
Trayvon
piggybacking off
Diggs
what you said.
No, not for sure. You
The
you
Trayvon
showed me the
Diggs
Trayvon
and
Diggs play.
Goddard. Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But I also
I get it. I get it. He wanted to get cute. He wanted to get fancy. Sure.
130-46, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but I think we beat Washington handily. I think this is a comfortable game. We go in, especially in Philly, first game, number 1 in the division. I think we go in there and we smoke out Washington. I think we have ourselves a fine ball game on both ends. I think offensively we get to do whatever we want. Saquon in the run game, A.J. Brown, Smitty. I think Dallas Goedert, he's going to be there. I think our offensive line is going to get an insane amount of push. And then on the defensive side, I think we'll be able to hold them for certain spurts. I don't think their offense will be able to keep up with our offense. So I'm really honing in on the Eagles' dominant win just to show the world, like, we're back on top and to show the world Washington can't fuck with us.
I don't think it's going to be a dominant win. I think the Commanders always play the Eagles tough.
You
They're always
disrespect their
close games.
defense a little bit.
Even when they were bad, they played you tough.
You
worried.
disrespect Commanders' defense.
What'd I say?
Dante Fowler's been a demon this season.
Yeah,
What
I mean,
did I say?
You said they can't fuck with us at all.
What am I supposed to say?
I would feel that type of way if I had this offense before.
No, agreed.
the
But
Commanders, I think they've been solid on defense.
You called them a fake defense an hour ago.
did you?
Yes.
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
you said
He said
Commanders,
Cardinals. No, I don't think he did. I'm the first to call out. He said Cardinals. Most
I said
definitely
Cardinals. I definitely
Most
said Cardinals.
definitely it was Cardinals.
But
Rafe,
even
your
though-
memory's been on Fraud Watch. You accuse me of that. Your memory's been on Fraud Watch.
But even then,
Yes, you.
Me?
That was wrong. Also, when the statement that you said, no, I didn't say that.
Oh, that was one time.
Yeah,
That was
okay.
one
But
time.
I'm
Here's-
telling you, he said Cardinals.
here's the thing. I think the Commanders, their way to win this game is just they got to get off to a hot start. The Eagles haven't gotten off to the best starts in games, especially in the first quarter. And if the Commanders can get a little bit of a lead and you make the Eagles more predictable on offense where they're passing more, they're not playing through their run game, then there's an opportunity for them to, have momentum and ultimately win this game. But I think the Eagles are a more talented team. I think the Commanders' defense, metric-wise, they've been really good, right? But you look at just the talent that they have. Like Dante Fowler, yes, he is having an incredible year. Dorrance Armstrong is having a great year. Daron Payne has been all right. I don't even know if he's healthy or not. Somebody probably
good.
could fact check me on that.
good.
And then Jerzon Newen has came back recently, and he's put together some good games. And you have Wagner, you have Louvu. Like they have some talent
I
there.
like Louvu a lot, bro. Something
I
about
love
him. He's
Louvu.
always making a play on the ball.
Yeah, I love Louvu a lot too, but this is where I think the Commanders are going to lose the game. You don't have Marshawn Lattimore. A.J. Brown against man coverage has a 37% target rate. A.J. Brown is going to be guarded by Benjamin St. Juste, and then you have Mike Sanders still probably guarding Devontae Smith. I feel like that's a mismatch. It's going to be a game where the Commanders are going to have to do one or two things. They're either going to have to say, okay, we're going to trust our corners to win these matchups, or they're going to give them safety help, and now you have lighter boxes, and now Saquon Barkley is going to beat you that way. The Eagles right now
all day.
are third in rushing efficiency, so they can run the ball, and I feel like that's been the biggest change from this year to last year is that last year, yeah, Swift is an 1,000-yard rusher. They have a great offensive line, but it's not actually an efficient rushing offense. Like this year, they're actually an elite rushing offense, and they're getting back to their identity that they had when they made the Super Bowl back in 2022. With the Commanders, I'm just watching their offense again. I feel like their offensive line has been awesome this year, and they have great protection plans against high-quality pass rushers. Against Dexter Lawrence, they were double-teaming him, and Sam Cosmi is one of the best guards in the league. Against T.J. Watt, they were chipping him with wide receivers and running backs. They were triple-teaming him too. So they tend to have great plans to keep Jaden Daniels protected. Terry McLaurin, for the most part, he's always lined up on the left side. Quinyon Mitchell lines up on that right side 97% of the time. That's going to be a matchup that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the Terry versus Quinyon matchup. I think it's going to be awesome. And the Commanders just have to have long, sustained drives, run out the clock, and get out to an early lead and have some momentum for them to win. But I think the Eagles are just better top to bottom, much like the Chargers, where the Chargers are on elite defense, but they haven't faced the best competition. I think the Eagles are a great defense. I think they're turning into an elite defense right now. And I know that the competition has not been great, but I just look at the talent that they have. The person that has really impressed me has been Zach Bond. Zach Bond, in the last 3 games, he has a 90-plus PFF grade. He has 40 defensive stops on the season, which is number 1 amongst all linebackers. This is probably the most sure tackler that the Eagles have had a linebacker in a very long time. He was a converted edge rusher. I had my question marks about how he would play linebacker, but it's because it's a brand new position. And that was a great find from Vic Fangio to get him, develop him. He plays with an edge and a physicality that I feel like you can't teach. And then you just have the defensive line playing at a high level with Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, who's going to be a high-profile free agent. Nolan Smith has made some plays. Bryce Huff just made his best play of the year against the Cowboys, getting a strip sack
Don't sleep
fumble.
on Brandon
Josh
Graham,
Sweat.
old man
Yeah, Brandon Graham still
Graham.
could give you something, but Josh Sweat also has been a bright spot. And then you have the secondary with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, who they have given this secondary life, and Cooper DeJean has played at a very high level. So this defense as a whole right now, they're number one in success rate on defense in the NFL. This is turning into an elite unit. And if you have an elite defense and you have a team that can have elite ball control like the Eagles, and they can run the ball, they can run the clock, and you have that explosive pass game, things are coming together for the Eagles right now. And I feel like the defense, that's been the biggest surprise and the thing that I'm most impressed with how things have transpired this year.
Go ahead, brother.
Philly's gonna win this game.
Shocked you.
They
said
are.
I mean, I don't know. I've been
He
right
fell
about
off,
I've been
man.
right about Philly every week except once this week, or once this season, I
Pick'em
believe.
shit's not moving us, man.
Scoreboard. Anyhow,
Mickey Mouse.
but no, I think Philly's going to win this game. The one area that Philly's been able to get beat on defensively is when opposing teams use motion, right? So when opposing offenses use motion against Philly's defense has generated a 61.2% defensive success rate, which is the fourth highest in the NFL, meaning that you run motion against Philly, they get some things, misconstrued, you're able to have some success on them. But the Commanders don't really run motion a lot. A lot of this has just been Jaden Daniels going to sit back there, just going to read the defense. A lot of it is some quick game stuff that Cliff Kingsbury dials up, but they're only running motion on 50% of plays this year, which is the fourth lowest in the NFL. Funny enough, they're one of the most successful teams when they do run motion. They have a 50% success rate, which is sixth highest in the NFL. So it's something they're great at, but it's not something they do a lot. So I am interested to see, again, on a short week, it's going to be tougher to implement new things into your offense, or at least something that you don't do often, to do it more often on a short week when you just don't have as many practice reps, walkthroughs, meetings, stuff like that. But that's really the only area that concerns me, because I do think Philly's defense has shown over this last month, really since the bye week, they've been able to turn it around. We talked about it early in the season. Vic Fangio historically takes some time for his defense to really get settled in. It's not just Vic Fangio. You've had breakout years from your rookies, from Braun, from Bryce Huff, who's, even though his snaps have been going down, he's been able to generate some pressures and get some hurries on the quarterback. But it's been a good mix, I think, of coaching and of some players stepping up that we really weren't expecting, because that was our biggest concern entering the year was, the front four we felt pretty confident about. Jalen Carter, Bryce Huff, even Jordan Davis has been playing a lot better compared to his rookie season. But it was really that linebacking core and that secondary was like, shit. You could go out and sign Saquon Barkley. You can make all these moves, but if you can't stop the run, you can't guard the pass, it's going to be hard to win games in this league. But they've had a great job really with internal growth throughout this season, being able to go from a terrible defense the first 3 weeks to one of the best over the last month. I don't think it's going to be a dominated win. What the Commanders have shown throughout this entire season is they're not bad to go out there and lose by 3 touchdowns.
Stamp it.
They haven't played Philly, so I'll give you that.
Respect
but this is
them.
a team that I said, even these last couple of years, when it's been fucking Sam Howell and shit, they played you tough. And when you've been winning like 11 games in a row, they go out there and beat you guys. So now they have Jaden Daniels. They have an identity. They have something to build on. It's going to be a tough game, divisional
Our
game,
team
short
is
week. But I
our
got
team now
Philly.
is better than that 2022 team.
I don't know. Last year's team definitely better than 2022. Yeah, probably.
right.
Jalen Hurts is playing at that same level, but
Saquon clears. Who the fuck we had in the
yeah,
backfield?
Miles.
Miles.
AJ Brown, Smitty, same guys. AJ got better.
That
Smitty
offensive
got
line
better.
clears this offensive line.
They
now.
had Jason Kelsey for sure.
for
Our defense now, I think,
it's
is better than 2022. We just played some
secondary,
better.
for
Yeah,
sure.
well, that defense was a very fake defense.
yeah,
Understandable.
light
There's
There's
schedule.
also fake turf. Can't forget that. That's definitely important. Eagles are going to win this game. Their offense is just playing at an amazing
we
level.
have the Chinks.
Yeah, but I
take
guess
the Commanders, bro.
I was going to say, yeah. I don't know why we're shocked about this. Shout out. I know that I've been very high on the Commanders, but again, the Eagles are playing at a very high level. And also, you could say Commanders coming off an L, they could be a little bit more hungry because they do want a chance at the division. 7-2 record versus 7-3. The window for them to take the crown for the East is there for them, but I look at what the Eagles are doing on the defensive side of the ball, and I think that that's what's persuading me the most because I know that this offense for the Eagles is going to go out there and put up points. In the first half, they've struggled, but in the second half, they just decided to figure shit out, and that's when we see the best version of Jalen Hurts. He's always due for one elite throw a game every single week. We saw it this week to A.J. Brown, especially like you mentioned, Riv, when A.J. Brown plays, this offense simply just operates at a whole other level. And when now you have Saquon Barkley in the backfield, now there's simply no way that you can really stop them. And as long as Jalen Hurts decides to take care of the ball, this is an Eagles team that really can't be messed with. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles to win this one. I would say not comfortably. I'm anticipating one of the best games we've seen this year. I really want to see the Commanders come out here and test the Eagles though, because that's been a big stain on the Eagles or in their run since coming off the bye week. This is their test, even though we said that it was the Bengals, because the Bengals have one of the better offenses in the league. Now the Commanders are one of those that it's pretty universal right now. We respect what the Commanders have been doing on the offensive side of the ball. Maybe not Riv, because of course they're in his division and he has to naturally be a hater. But of course we understand the Commanders have overly impressed this year.
Yeah.
But that goes perfectly into mine. I want them to succeed. I want Jaden Daniels to play well. But when we get into our prize picks, I'm going less on the yards for Jaden Daniels at 226.5. He hasn't reached that mark the last couple of weeks. He did reach it versus the Bears, but a lot of that did come off the insane bomb play. But he still would have hit that regardless. I just look at what you guys have been able to do these last couple of weeks, and sure, it's been against subpar offenses outside of the Bengals, but regardless, the pressure you've been able to generate, your secondary has been amazing. And if you're going to put Terry McLaurin on an island with Quinyon Mitchell, not that I don't think Terry's going to win reps, because of course he's Terry McLaurin. He's going to win reps. But I like that matchup for the Philadelphia Eagles. Quinyon's been playing at such an elite level. I think that you need to get creative when you're going up against this Philadelphia Eagles defense. And like Joel mentioned, if you can get out in motion, that's when you really can get them uncomfortable. But with the Commanders and the way that they've been running their scheme with Terry McLaurin, I feel like that is going to be something that I'm interested to see how they adjust to on the fly.
Yeah, he talked about how like Quinyon and Cooper, I believe, it was both of them. They talked about how like they have to see like AJ Brown and Smitty in practice like every day.
Makes it hell.
So like it really like brands, because Quinyon especially, because Cooper just started playing like I want to say like after the bye, but Quinyon has pretty much seen every type of receiver, like the big body and Mike Evans, Chris Olave, he's seen Jamar Chase. Now he's about to see Terry, who's like fucking basically another Smitty, same type of receiver. So it's like he's seen every single receiver in the NFL, or every single type of receiver in the NFL. So it's kind of like you see two demons in practice every week. You're kind of already prepared for the demon that you're gonna see on Sunday or Monday or Thursday.
That's why Payne Pritchard's so good.
Right. Actually, that's not a terrible take. Honestly, you see a bunch of demons, literally demons in practice. But piggybacking off you, I'm taking the more on Devontae Smitty's 51.5 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll double check it for you before you give your thing.
Thank you. Double check, please.
We got to do the pros picks thing. We'll do that in a little bit separately.
Oh, Drew started early.
Yeah, I know, but he was just like mentioning it. What do you think the final score is going to be?
I think that we see a Philadelphia Eagle offensive great game. I'm going to go 20. I'm going to go 31. 31 to 17.
Oh, 2 touchdowns.
So it is a dominating
That seems
win.
like a dominating victory to me.
It's a 10-plus point win.
That's
We pretty much whipped their ass, bro. Like 17.
I was gonna say, like, I think there'll be points scored. We've seen these last couple of weeks too, some high scoring Thursday night games. I say 28-24.
I say 31, where I think that the defense leaves their mark on this game, gets a turnover, puts Philadelphia in great field possession, which leads to some touchdowns. Listen, we just saw the Commanders go and put 27 on Steelers, where one of those plays in particular came in a very opportune spot.
I'm gonna go. I guess I'll show him a little respect. I'll go
40-14.
I wish we get 40-14.
So you
Now,
said it's going to be an ass kicking.
yeah, but I'll show him a little respect. Drew is right. I am a little rude to them because they're in my division. I hate them so much. But I'll go 31-21 Philly.
I like this 31 wave you're on. I actually wrote 31 in my notes.
Look at you guys.
Thinking about
Show off,
changing it
yes.
because, it's just such a coincidence. My prediction is Eagles 31, Commanders 26. I think it's going to be a
about
close
right.
game. I think it's going to be another great Thursday Night Football thriller. And Riv, to answer your question, it is 51.5. So our prospect plays for Thursday Night Football, Commanders versus the Eagles. Drew, what are you going with?
I'm going with Jaden Daniels to have less than 226 passing yards. He's been amazing this season. For a rookie, he's been by far and away the best quarterback. Well, best by far and away, let me take it easy there. Bo Nick's been a superstar. But all jokes aside, these last couple of weeks, he's failed to miss that mark. He did hit that versus the Chicago Bears, one of the best defenses. I'll give him his flowers there. But going up against this Philadelphia Eagles defense, they're going to get pressure on Jaden. This secondary has been one of the best units in the National Football League. I think he will struggle in that regard. So I'm going to take him to have less than that amount.
I'm going to go with A.J. Brown, more than 82.5 receiving yards. Marshawn Lattimore is probably not going to play. If he did play, maybe I don't take this, but going up against Benjamin St-Juste, I think A.J. Brown should see a lot of man coverage looks, single coverage looks, and I think that he's going to have a big-time day.
And for me, I'm going more on Devontae Smith, 51.5 yards. Listen, I think those corners are Swiss cheese. I trust my guys against their guys every day of the week. And it's always something about a Smitty game. And if you know me and you're a fan, when I tell you it's a big Smitty game, 9 times out of 10, it's a big Smitty game. So lock that in.
Going up against Charles in fantasy this week, if I win, I got to buy. So unfortunately,
Well,
if he loses and he wins, I kick my brother.
I
out
have
of
the
class.
Eagles starting 5, so
You do have the Eagles.
we're locked in this
Except
week.
Jalen Hurts.
Which is, I have Lamar. Cooked. I have Lamar.
of a gun.
Yeah, so I'm good in that department.